Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Third Inning Podcast. I'm your host, Izzy Rain, and we are back for season 2. Baseball is back, spring training is happening. The game started back this weekend, so it is super, super exciting to be back in the baseball season. Now, this is your first time tuning into my podcast. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and just about the podcast in general, like what you can expect and all every week. So I'm Izzy Rain. That is my YouTube channel name. That is not the name I was born with, but we're only keeping the podcast on YouTube because I've not been able to find out how to get it to Spotify or other apps like that, because I tried LibbySyn or whatever and they were just charging me money every month and telling me I didn't have a show. So I did get scammed like $5 a month, which sucks, and nobody I know who has a podcast has been willing to help me, so I don't know what to do with that. But I will continue to research and try to get this podcast on Spotify or just somewhere easier than YouTube for you guys to listen. But you can expect this podcast every weekend. I'm going to say it's usually going to be at 9 p.m. on Sundays Eastern Standard Time. Now, next week is where it gets iffy because I'm not going to be on the East Coast. I'm going to be in Arizona. I don't even know what time zone that's in, to be honest with y'all. So just follow me on Twitter, which it will be down in the description of this video. Follow me there for updates of when you can expect the podcast, but it will be on Sunday. I'm just not sure what time because I haven't traveled to the West Coast in a few years, so it is going to be different. But this is a baseball podcast where I'm going to be talking all things baseball about all different teams. Now, I am a Los Angeles Dodgers fan. So I live in South Carolina, so obviously nowhere near the Dodgers. So SunTrust Park, which isn't SunTrust Park anymore, was my home stadium, but I haven't been to Atlanta in forever, so my home stadium has really moved to Camden Yards in Baltimore. That has been where I've been going to the majority of my games, just in the Baltimore and DC area at Nats Park or at Camden Yards. This has been easier for me, and I do prefer those stadiums way over the Atlanta Braves stadium. They're a lot easier to get to and that kind of stuff. And I highly recommend checking out those stadiums. So I am a Dodger fan, but we are going to be talking all things baseball. And I should have said this at the start. I am going to have merch. So if you stay till the very end of this video, you can see the t-shirt design. And just message me on Instagram if you would like to purchase one. They're going to be probably like $20, and that's including shipping. So not that bad. So if you guys are interested, message me over there and I can set you up with my PayPal. Just give me your shirt size and all that, and we'll be good to go. But we are going to be talking baseball now. So I am going to be in Arizona next week. I am driving across America. It's a long drive. It's a 3-day drive to Arizona. I'm going to be in Peoria, Arizona. And so that is where the Mariners and Padres had their spring training. I am seeing different teams, but I'm just going to be in Peoria and just going all around the Phoenix area. I have never been to spring training in Arizona. I've only been in Florida several times. So it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend going to spring training, and hopefully I catch a baseball, because I've not been able to catch a baseball at spring training. I've got them at minor league games. I've got them at major league games, so never a spring training game. And the baseballs for spring training are really cool because, well, I'm going to be in Arizona, so they're going to have a cactus on them. And then if you're in Florida, they have a palm tree on them. And then I think some have the, like, it looks like an interstate sign, but it just has like FL for Florida or AZ for Arizona, so it's really cool. So hopefully I am able to get one, and I am sure I'm going to be buying a lot of merch, and that will be a lot of fun. So our main theme today, our main subject, is going to be that filthy team from Houston, Texas, and how they're cheaters. So we're going to be going through the timeline of everything in the Astros cheating scandal, which is the biggest cheating scandal in, I would say, modern sports history. Maybe a stretch, but That's what I think. So our story starts in November of 2019 with Mike Fears. So he was a pitcher for the Houston Astros, but then he got traded or he signed. I'm not sure exactly what, but he left the Astros and went to the Oakland Athletics. So he was talking to a local newspaper about sign stealing during the 2017 World Series and just the playoffs and all in general. And he specifically said the team had a camera in center field to steal signs of the pitchers from the teams that the Astros were playing. So that's where this all started in early November, is that Mike Fears was talking about this, talking about the cheating scandal. And I know, like, Big Papi has called him a snitch and all that, which, yeah, he is a snitch, but they needed to be exposed, so I'm not complaining. So then on the same day in November, Alex Cora and Carlos Beltran are named in a report saying that and they are both managers or were managers for the Boston Red Sox and the New York Mets. And they were assigned as main perpetrators of the sign stealing in Houston. So they both got in trouble, and now they're saying that the Red Sox cheated in the World Series when they went against the Dodgers in 2018. So another team involved, and then you get the Mets involved because Beltran was working with the Astros in 2017. So let's get in the Mets involved now. The Mets really need to be cheating because they're the Mets. So then 2 days later, after the Fears allegations come up, MLB starts an investigation into the Astros, seeing what it was they were doing, how they were stealing signs, who was involved with it, and that kind of thing. And then this is when we hear first about the banging sounds in Minute Maid Park. So there were sounds while pitches were being thrown. Did those sounds have anything to do with the pitches? Did certain sounds mean a certain pitch? Who knows? So then we go ahead about 2 months to January, and the Athletic, that was the newspaper that Mike Fears first talked to, they released a report on the Red Sox saying that they had the cheating scandal in Boston in the 2018 season. I saw the Red Sox that season. They absolutely destroyed the Yankees in the Bronx. Grand slams, everything. So, do I think the cheating was going on then when it was in the middle of the season? I'm going to say yeah, most likely. I do think if you were cheating in the playoffs, I do think you were cheating in the regular season, and you do deserve the asterisk by your championship title. So yeah, this is when they really start talking about Alex Cora and saying, hey, MLB, you need to be looking in the Red Sox as well. So then on the 13th of January, AJ Hinch, who was the Houston Astros manager, and then the general manager, Jeff Luhnow, were both fired by the team owner, Jim Crane, for their roles in the sign stealing scandal. So first, MLB suspended them, and then they got fired or maybe switched, and so they are out, but they were only suspended for 1 year, both of them were. So will they come back later on? I really doubt it. I don't think Houston would want to do that, but they may. I don't know. It's up to the Astros. So then the day later, Alex Cora parts way with the Red Sox. There was never I don't think he got suspended. But the Red Sox were just like, well, look what happened to Houston. So that's going to happen to us. So let's just part ways so we don't get as much bad press. And that's what they did. So then on the 16th, we had the drama with the Mets. Beltran never even got to coach a game. He parted ways with the Mets, and he was the third manager to be forced out of job as a result of the allegations. So that's everything that happened then. Now, we're going to be getting a little bit more rowdy. So, we haven't gotten to what was happening with the players yet. So, here we go. There came a Twitter has to be involved in it, don't they? A fake Twitter account. We're assuming it's fake. We don't know really who was behind this account, but they were claiming to be Beltran's niece. And they were saying the Yankees are doing stuff too. They're like, you can look at players and they will have buzzers on them. So that is when the buzzer story gets in on this. So they're saying that, and this hasn't been confirmed if they actually had buzzers on them, I should say that. So they said that they were wearing buzzing electronic devices during the 2019 playoffs that would relay a stolen sign through vibrations. So Altuve is the one they're really targeting for this, saying that you can see creases in his jersey, that there is something under his jersey, and then he didn't want to rip off his shirt in the playoffs because Carlos Correa came in later saying that he had a really bad tattoo and he didn't want the nation to see it. And then there was another rumor that his wife wouldn't let him take off his shirt on TV, but his wife has no problem of him posting tons of shirtless pictures on Instagram. Really suspicious, and obviously he was hiding something. So, was it a buzzer? I don't know. It is likely, but we don't know for a fact if they were wearing these buzzers or not. So, when this report came out in the New York Post, Altuve, this is his direct quote: "Some people made that up. The best thing that happened to me was that MLB investigated and found nothing." And so Reddick, who is also on the Astros, said it was ridiculous, and then Alex Bregman said the buzzers rumor was stupid. So were they wearing the buzzers or not? I want to know what you guys think of that. So there have been a lot of reactions about this. Josh Reddick was the first Astros player made available to speak to the media, and he said it sinks for everybody involved. When everyone feels the time is right, it will get taken care of. Well, the time is right now. You're being investigated. So, Bregman and Altuve have been the ones getting hammered a lot, and let me tell you, I unfollowed all Astros players on Instagram. I used to follow some of them, and I was just like, not following you anymore. I lost all respect. So, they did have fan fests and all that, and the Astros still have fans. I think their fans are really naive to just still be rooting for them and saying that none of this happened when there's proof that they were cheating. Like, MLB says they were cheating. So, I don't know why those people are so naive in believing that their Houston Astros did not cheat. So, I don't know. So, Bregman answered that the commissioner made his report and made the decisions, and the Astros made their decision. I have no further comment on it. And then Altuve was like, I think the time to comment about this will come. And he was vowing that the Astros would return to the World Series. Now, if they went to the World Series with the same lineup, I wouldn't trust them. I do 100% believe they would cheat again. I don't think they learned their lesson. I don't think these guys got enough of a punishment. You have people like Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe who got basically they got banned from the league, and these guys got nothing. They just got a slap on the wrist. Like, yeah, these managers got fired and all, but the players were the one actually, like, doing it, and they got no punishment whatsoever. And I just think the commissioner, you're weak, dude. You needed to slam the hammer down, and you didn't. So, it's really stupid. So, Jim Crane, who is the owner of the Astros, he promised the team would hold a press conference at spring training, and they did. And they apologized and all, but I mean, I think their apologies BS. It's only because they got caught. They're not really sorry. They got those rings, and I don't see them giving their rings back. So, yeah. So actually, before Justin Verlander said, he like I don't remember the exact quote, but he hated on people who were cheaters. But obviously, he was a part of that that cheating team. So obviously, his morals, what I can never say that word, aren't that great. So, but the first player to publicly apologize was Dallas Keuchel. Now he is in the White Sox organization. Now he went from the Astros to the Braves to the White Sox, and that's where he is now. He said, it's just what the state of baseball was at that point in time. Was it against the rules? Yes, it was. I personally am sorry for what's come about the whole situation. How I feel about that response, where he's like, it's that point in time, but not everybody was cheating, so I don't think that's a good way to apologize. But I can't imagine being in that situation, being a cheater. Like, what would you tell people? Like, I can't imagine that. So, don't cheat. So, Marvin Gonzalez was the first position player to publicly apologize. And he is a part of the Minnesota Twins now. He says, I'm remorseful for everything that happened in 2017, everything that we did as a group and players that were affected directly by us doing this. And yeah, so I mean, just a lot of drama has come about this. So yeah, the press conference was held on the 13th, so last week, and this is the apologies that I think are really BS. So Bregman said, I'm really sorry about the choices that were made by my team, by the organization, and by me. I've learned from this, and I hope to regain the trust of baseball fans. You're not. So Altuve said, I especially feel remorse for the impact on our fans and the game of baseball. It's all BS. So they did hire Dusty Baker as their new manager. I have a bobblehead of him right next to me that I got at Dodger Stadium. I really like Dusty, and I hope he can turn around what has happened with the Astros. I think he's a great coach. So I hope that I don't know if there's much you can do, but I just hope he can do something with this situation, because again, I can't imagine being in that situation. And so other players from other teams have come in to say stuff. So I'm just going to read this paragraph from Wikipedia for y'all. And all the articles I'm using, I am going to be leaving links in the pinned comments so you can check them out for yourself. So, Dodger Cody Bellinger said that Altuve had stolen the AL Most Valuable Player Award from runner-up Aaron Judge in 2017. So, Carlos Correa is the one talking a lot of stuff, even when this stuff isn't even about him, which I'm like, dude, go sit down. Nobody cares. But okay, so Correa responded to Bellinger's comments in an interview with Ken Rosenthal, saying that Altuve did not want anything to do with the sign stealing scheme, and the few times that the trash can was banged was without his consent, and he would go inside the clubhouse and inside the dugout to whoever was banging the trash can, and he would get pissed. He would get mad. He would say, I don't want this. I can't hit like this. Don't you do that to me. He played the game clean. Correa said that Altuve grabbed his shirt while circling the bases after his 2019 ALCS winning home run against the Yankees because of two reasons. Altuve's wife had asked Altuve not allow his jersey to be ripped off by his teammates after an occurrence earlier this season. And because Altuve had an unfinished tattoo on his collarbone that honestly looked terrible and he didn't want to show it at all. Correa also claimed that the Astros did not sign during the 2017 World Series and that they did not use the trash can banging in 2018. A group of reporters later saw Altuve in the clubhouse with a tattoo on his collarbone that said Melanie, the name of his daughter, which Altuve said was poorly done in San Francisco during a road trip that was eventually redone. And that has been later since reported that the Astros did not play in San Francisco when he got that tattoo done, but they could have been playing in Oakland and in the Bay Area. So there's been a lot of players getting involved in this. Trevor Bauer, Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Pedro Martinez. Yeah, okay. Jessica Mendoza said stuff because she's an advisor to the Mets. Kurt Suzuki. And he thinks that they were cheating in the 2019 World Series when the Nats played them, even though the Nats did win. Jonathan Lucroy has complained about it. A lot of people have. And I want to know what you guys think and everything. So now I'm going to reveal my merch to you guys. So it's just a blue shirt and with orange writing like our logo here. At some point I may do different colors and different style shirts, but this is how we are starting right now. So it's just a blue t-shirt and with orange lettering with a baseball on the front, and then on the back it says the Third Inning Podcast on YouTube with the YouTube play button. Hopefully bringing some promo to me. I'm going to bring the shirt with me to spring training. So if you guys would like one, message me on Instagram with your shirt size, and they're going to be $20, and I will send y'all my PayPal, and you can just pay me there, and then like with your address and all that, and I will get it shipped out to you. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I will see you guys next week, and I'm going to be live from spring training, so that should be a lot of fun because I've never gone to spring training out in Arizona in the Cactus League. So I'm very, very excited for that, and I hope to see you guys then. Bye!